Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of The Sixth Man. I'm your host, Josh Riley, bringing you the latest stories and news from around the NBA. And I'd like to start with a story involving the Los Angeles Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks. In the game that they had last Friday night, there was a skirmish in the third quarter involving Nick Young, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram of the Lakers, and Greg Monroe and Malcolm Brogdon of the Bucks. And here's a quote from the head coach of the Lakers, Luke Walton, about what he thought about how things transpired.
And in watching the tape, one of their employees is on the floor, and he grabs Brandon by the jersey and shoves him, not holding him back, shoves him. And that doesn't get addressed either. And if there's nothing wrong with that, then I have no problem finding some people to hire on our staff that next time we get in a skirmish, I'll keep all of my players back. Because the fact that they don't get in trouble for that, the refs don't say anything about that, and he puts his hands on one of our players. He works for them. He can touch their players all he wants. Don't touch my damn players. Because if that's okay, I'm sure we can find a couple people here in L.A. that want that job working for the Lakers too. So that's not right.
Whoa. Dude said, don't touch my damn players. Now, Luke Walton is normally pretty mild-mannered, laid-back kind of dude. So to hear him just be pissed off and kind of go off like that in a press conference really goes to show that this is a guy, when there's an injustice, he is not shy about letting it be known. And he definitely came to bat for his players and stood up for them, which is huge for the team because that will only build that trust and chemistry between coaches and players. And in addition, he also said earlier in the press conference that he liked the fact that his other players came to the defense of Nick Young because that also builds team chemistry. And this young core with the Lakers desperately needs that. And what better way to do that than to show that, hey, there's these other guys that are willing to go in the trenches with you. I mean, yeah, no one's condoning any type of violence or anything like that when it comes to that, but that's how it comes down to in sports sometimes, is you have to show that you're willing to have your teammates back in whatever situation it is. Because when it gets to those close games at the end of the game, you got to know that they're going to be right there with you, willing to fight until the bitter end. I know it seems a little dramatic, but, in the world of sports, sometimes that's how it is. And I was really glad that Luke Walton came to the defense of his boys and let them know that it's like, hey, if I see something that's not going correctly and not going right, I'm going to say something. And he's right. There should not be someone from the staff of the opposing team pretty much escalating the situation further. Their jobs are to try to push the players, not push them, but try to keep the players from, the event escalating even further. And he didn't do that. I saw the tape. It was clear that he was definitely trying to instigate some further physical action in that regard, and that's not right. And the league should do something about it, and it looks like nothing is going to be done about that. So I don't blame Luke. I'd be pissed off too about that. Not right at all. So that was definitely a little bright light to see in an otherwise abysmal season coming from the Lakers. For them something to look forward to next year. This is kind of the first time that we've seen Luke Walton just really come out with those raw emotions in regards to the play on the court. So that's definitely good news for the players and the front office as well. On to other news around the league. This season, this is the year of the triple double. I have to talk about this. Just in this last week, there's been records that have been getting broken or getting close to getting broken left and right in regards to triple doubles. And we've gotten a couple new ones. First off, this is the first time in NBA history where we've had at least 3 players have 10 plus triple doubles. Got LeBron James with 10, James Harden with 19, and of course the Bionic Man himself, Russell Westbrook, has now upped his total to 34 triple doubles, getting ever closer to that record of 41. And as a league, they have obliterated the previous record for triple doubles in a season of 78, which was set back in 1989. Currently, as a league, there are a total of 96 triple doubles and there's still about a month left in the season. So I'm pretty sure they're going to crack triple digits on that one, get at least 100 triple doubles, which I think would be awesome. It's really crazy to see, the versatility of the players that has increased over the last few years, and not just for guards, but in power forwards and centers, and all the front court players. Like, everybody is becoming more well-rounded in other facets of the game. And I think that's beautiful to see, because that just shows that players are taking pride in becoming good at more than one aspect. Yeah, you're going to still have your specifically skilled players, your spot shooters, your one-on-one perimeter defenders, your shot blockers, and things of that nature. But it's really good to see other players going, hey, what are some other ways that I can contribute to the team in a positive way? And you're seeing the results of that this season for sure. And now one of those players, LeBron James, everyone's talking about Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard of the Spurs as far as the MVP conversation. And LeBron is actually coming up to be kind of a dark horse MVP. I mean, who would ever thought that the King would be a dark horse MVP this year? But he's quietly, as quiet as LeBron James can, been having one of the best seasons of his career. He's averaging a career high in assists at almost 9 per game, which is for the first time putting him in the top 5 in the NBA this season. And this season he also cracked the top 10 all-time in scoring. And he's also the only player in league history now to be in the top 10 all-time in scoring and top 15 all-time in assists. No other player has done that. And see, I've always thought and said that the best aspect of his game is his ability to pass. And he's showing that right there. The dude can score with the best of anybody, but he's also doing it big in the assist column as well. So who knows? At the end of the year, all signs right now are pointing to James Harden as the MVP because he has a better record than Westbrook, even though Westbrook is doing historical things. But you don't know. LeBron just might sneak up and dunk on both of them and get that MVP for himself, which would be his 5th. So going into the last month of the season is definitely going to be intriguing to see how the awards, how they fold out, and the final records and everything as far as the teams coming up towards the end of this season. And just a last little blurb. This is March, so for all you college basketball fans, it is March Madness. I try to follow it. There's just too many damn teams to try and keep track of. And my bracket has already been busted because I like filling one of those out anyways. But I have Gonzaga winning the whole thing just because I want somebody besides North Carolina, Duke, or Kentucky to win. And I think that'd be cool. And I like the underdog. I like a good underdog story, even though they've had a really good season. But I got Gonzaga winning the whole thing. And so far, they're still in it. So I still got hope, even though the rest of my bracket has gone to crap. So that is it for me on this episode of The Sixth Man. I'm your host, Josh Riley. Always got more to come for you. So tune in. Make sure you tune in next week for the next edition of The Sixth Man. And this is your host, Josh Riley, signing off. Peace.